I watched over you when you were asleep, and I looked at your fucking neck, and I was that far away from slicing it. You're fucking there, mate. So get in that car and fuck off.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Flicks and Pixels, and thank you for checking out today's video. Guys, the film I'm going through with you today is, people would class this as a masterpiece. It is without a shadow of a doubt a modern classic, and when people are talking about their top British films of all time, this is always in the conversation, and so it should be, because it is a great film. I absolutely love it. Originally released in 2004, it stars Paddy Considine. It is a Shane Meadows film, and as you can tell from the thumbnail, it is Dead Man's Shoes on Blu-ray in a stunning collector's edition, and I'll take you through an unboxing of this in just a minute. Now, Second Sight announced Dead Man's Shoes quite a while ago, to be honest with you. They originally wanted to do a 4K restoration for this. They announced it was coming, everyone got very excited, and then they released another statement a while afterwards, basically saying, you know, it's still coming, don't worry, we're still working on it. You know, we've run into a couple of problems, we're trying to get them sorted, but Dead Man's Shoes is still coming. And then later on, again, they released another statement, and you've kind of got to give them credit for this because they were very transparent and they were very honest. They basically came out and said, we've tried everything we possibly can. We're unable to do the 4K restoration for Dead Man's Shoes. They were unable to find the original elements in order to do the restoration on this. They even worked with the film's producers to try and get the resources they needed to do the 4K restoration. They weren't able to do that, so instead they decided to work on a Blu-ray version. And what they used for that was the HD scan that was done. That's all they had to work with, basically. So, you know, you've kind of got to commend them for their honesty and their transparency in terms of, you know, not just releasing a 4K version of it. You know, they were very honest with everybody and said, we've tried, we couldn't do it, we've done this. They basically wanted to give it the best treatment they could possibly give it with what they had to work with what they had to use. And this was the route that they went down. And do you know what? I think they've delivered. I do. Now, if you're not familiar with Dead Man's Shoes, as I said, it was released originally back in 2004. It's basically a British revenge thriller, and Paddy Considine's character is ex-military, comes back to his local town because his brother, who has developmental disabilities, learning difficulties, very vulnerable, was basically groomed and manipulated and bullied, terrorised, basically, by a bunch of local thugs. You know, treated him terribly. Paddy Considine's character has come back to basically get revenge on those people. It's a very powerful film. It's a very moving film. It's a tough watch at times. It's violent, and it's just a very, very gritty film, but it's a fantastic film. The performances in this are absolutely brilliant. This was probably the film that got Shane Meadows properly on the map. He'd been around before, but he'd done mainly like short films and things like that. This was the film that really kind of gave him his break, I guess. But yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic film. I love it. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to take you through an unboxing of this collector's edition, and then we're going to bring it back up top, and we're going to talk about that Blu-ray transfer. So, are you ready? Come on, let's go and have a look. Right then, so here we go with Dead Man's Shoes on Blu-ray in this collector's edition. But before we go through this, just bring in the J card that comes attached to the back. And as you'll see, you get a synopsis of the film at the top, a list of your special features, a list of your limited edition contents, along with your tech specs at the bottom as well. So if I bring this in for a closer look, if you want to pause the video to read those, please do so. And then pop that to one side and bring this in. And I've got to say, guys, I love the artwork on this. I think it looks fantastic. I mentioned it in a live stream a while ago when this got announced for pre-order. And I saw the images. I just absolutely love the artwork on it. So you got that famous scene with the gas mask just there. You got Paddy Considine and then Toby Kebbell just there. Dead Man's Shoes, a film by Shane Meadows. Yeah, love the artwork on this. Looks fantastic. And then nothing on the top, nothing on the bottom. Bring it round to the spine. You've got Dead Man Shoes written just there along with the Second Sight logo. Bring it round to the back. You've got another image just there with Second Sight Films at the bottom. And then, of course, on this side, you have all your contents. So let's take all of this out. And we'll just take a look at the rigid hard case. Really good quality, as always, from Second Sight. Nice and thick and sturdy, which is good. Good quality. Yeah, that's great. I love the artwork on there. It's fantastic. So the first thing we'll bring in then is the art cards. And I love the artistic style on these. Look fantastic. So that is the front of the edition, as you saw on the rigid hard case. Just there. Really like that. That is the image that's on the back of it. There you've got Paddy Considine and Toby Kebbell again. And those are the thugs. That's the gang that he goes after. Yeah, love the art style on these. Really good. Good quality as well. Not flimsy at all. Very sturdy indeed. Nothing on the back. They are all blank. But yeah, love the art style of those. They're really nice. Pop that to one side. And the next thing we bring in is Dead Man's Shoes. So this is information on the cast and the crew. A bit on Shane Meadows himself, the inspiration behind the film, what went into making it and everything. That is your front artwork just there. That is the back. And that's your spine. But yeah, as I say, guys, this book is really thick. You can see how thick it is. And it just has loads of information in here. Everything about what went into making it, the inspiration behind the film, the characters. It's just really good quality. Loads of good information. And you've got some great stills from the film as well. Really good book. That is going to be a good read. Yeah, that's great. Really like that. And as I say, excellent quality, really thick. That's a great book. Really like that. Pop that to one side. And the next thing we'll bring in is you get a graphic novel included as well. That is the artwork on the front. Love that artwork on there. That looks great. And then that is your spine. And then that is your artwork on the back. Now, with this being a graphic novel, obviously, if you've not seen the film, I don't want to give too much away. So I'm going to flick through this quite quickly. But you'll kind of get the idea. It's a graphic novel. So, as you can see, it's laid out really well. Just going to flick through it quickly because, like I say, I don't want to give any spoilers away to anybody that hasn't seen the film. But you kind of get the idea of what they're going for with this. Yeah, I'm not gonna go on any further because I don't want to give anything away. But you get the idea, guys. You can get the idea of the quality and how it's laid out and everything. It looks great. It looks really good. And again, very good quality as well. Yeah, really like that. And then last but not least, we'll bring in the digipack that houses your disc, and that is the artwork on the front of there. Again, looks great. That is the artwork on the back. Nothing on the spine. And then if we open this up, there is your disc, your Blu-ray. Take that out. That is your artwork on the disc. And then you do have an image of the gas masks again, just in there. So if we pop the disc back in there, and then we'll do a quick recap. So that is your digipack that houses your disc. You get a really good quality graphic novel of the film just there. Really like that. You also get a nice thick book with loads of information of the film, the cast, the crew, what went into making it, the inspiration behind it, a little bit about Shane Meadows as well, which is great. Fantastic book with loads of information. You get some really, really nice art cards just there. Again, great quality. And that's all housed in a really nice rigid hard case. A great addition, guys, I'm sure you'll agree. So there we go, guys. That is Dead Man's Shoes on Blu-ray in this collector's edition from Second Sight Films. Let's go back up top and let's talk about it. Okay, so we are back up top with Dead Man's Shoes on Blu-ray from Second Sight in a stunning collector's edition, guys. Listen, if you're familiar with Second Sight and their previous collector's editions, you know what to expect with this. It just screams quality from top to bottom. Everything from the packaging to the content you get included in this, the quality of that content, and that amazing artwork all the way through as well. This is a stunning edition. But not only that, they've also loaded the disc with bonus features. So you've got new bonus features and archival stuff on there as well. But not only that, they've included the short film Northern Soul, which if you've never seen before, I urge you to check it out. It is a decent watch. It's really good. But this edition cost me £40. It is available from all your regular retailers, HMV, Zavvi, Second Sight Direct as well. But if you're somebody that's not really into their collector's editions, or you don't want to spend £40 on this film, Second Sight have actually released it in a standard Blu-ray form as well, so that's priced at £18. The disc in that edition is exactly the same as the disc in this edition, so you're not missing out on anything in terms of the contents on that disc. But if, like me, you're a huge fan of this film, this is the ultimate edition to get for Dead Man's Shoes. It is stunning. In terms of the Blu-ray transfer then, guys, listen, you need to manage your expectations a little bit with this. And I'll explain why. This was shot on Super 16mm. It was filmed on a low budget, okay? Second Sight wanted to go in and do a full 4K restoration using that original camera negative. They were unable to do so. You know, they couldn't get hold of the elements or the resources they needed to be able to do that. So they've had to work with what they were given, and what they were given was the previous HD scan, which came with its own issues. You know, there was dirt on the picture, there was blemishes, there was a bit of warping going on as well with previous releases. Second Sight have gone in and just cleaned all that up. They've restored that original HD scan as much as they possibly could to make this a better looking image, and it's worked. They've done it. It looks really good. It still maintains that rustic aesthetic, that filmic look. The film grain is fully intact and pretty consistent all the way through. None of that has been scrubbed away. So with the resources that they were given, that they had, you know, to use, they've done a really good job with this, and I think they've given it the best treatment that they possibly could give it, and it is arguably the best that Dead Man's Shoes has ever looked. Listen, as I said, manage your expectations. Don't go into this, you know, expecting a massively cleaned up picture and it looking smooth and whatever. You're not going to get any of that. You're still going to get that lovely rustic aesthetic that Dead Man's Shoes is known for. It's just much cleaner and more refined. I just think they've done a wonderful job on it. In terms of how the film sounds, and it does come with a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1. There's no need for anything more than that for this film. It is a very dialogue heavy film, and the 5.1 gets the job done. Your dialogue is nice and clear all the way through. So anything above what they've given you on this release, as I say, guys, I think, you know, would have been a bit of a waste. The 5.1 is more than adequate for this film, and yeah, it gets the job done, as I say. So overall, it is a great release from Second Sight. When you consider the limitations and the obstacles they've had to overcome in order to get this out, the fact that they couldn't do the 4K restoration, the fact that they've gone in and cleaned up the image from previous releases and cleaned it up to the standard that they have, it's just another great release from Second Sight, and I think they've done a great job. I think you need to tip their hat to them, to be honest. Number one, for their transparency and their honesty, because they could have just released that 4K. They could have just got it, hang on, there you go, and kind of let it be, but they didn't. They wanted to do the best they possibly could for this film. They wanted to do it justice, and if they weren't able to do what they wanted to do with the 4K restoration, then they were going to do the next best thing, and they've done it with this. They've done an exceptional job, and overall, this is a fantastic release. But leave a comment down below, guys. What do you think of this film? If you got this film on Blu-ray, you're going to get this collector's edition. Yeah, leave a comment down below. As I said, I absolutely love this film, and, you know, as mentioned earlier on, if people are discussing the top British films of all time, Dead Man's Shoes is always in the conversation without a doubt. And if you're somebody that's never seen this film, I urge you to give it a watch. Honestly, you won't be disappointed. It is a fantastic film. And I kind of envy you watching it for the first time, to be honest. It's fantastic, and I'm absolutely thrilled with this release. It's amazing. So that is all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you did like the video today, please give it a thumbs up. If you would consider hyping the video as well, honestly, I'd really appreciate it. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Honestly, it really helps me out. You know, if you're into your physical media, unboxings and reviews and showcases, you know, that's what we do on this channel. We also do some live streams as well. So anything physical media related, it's all on here, and your support means the world to me. It really does. So that is all for today, guys. Thank you so much again for watching, and hopefully I will see you again on my next video. Until then, take care.